Alright, so that is Loki Bass 2 video over. Goodbye. Actually, I'm just kidding. So let's go ahead and jump into Cubase here. So here is the session now. Brand new Loki Bass 2 is over here on my left, and then the original Loki Bass is here on the right. As you can see, it is a dingwall bass, so it's that very classic high mid, genty, clanky clank type of a sound here. Now, before I go any further, yes, if you bought Loki Bass 1, you will get Loki Bass 2 completely for free. All right, so don't worry. You probably already got a download link in your email. You probably already know that, actually. But that's just for those who don't have Loki Bass 1. So if we just look at the interface here, the basic differences, it's actually been run through the Kraken engine, and really with all of the lessons learned from doing how many bass instruments have they done now already? Loki Bass, Kraken Bass, and now Loki 2. Loki 2 has been completely re-recorded from scratch, better chain, better equipment, and then obviously being able to avoid mistakes or all of the pitfalls of doing the earlier product. The really cool thing about the original Loki was that you could do fingerstyle. However, in Loki Bass 2, you also can do fingerstyle plus slap. All right, so it's even more dynamic, and there are even more programming. What am I looking for? Come on. There it is. Programming possibilities, because you have slap, finger, sliding, hybrid, hammer-on, left-hand slap on the fretboard and stuff like that. So this is really a dynamic and super versatile bass instrument as far as dynamics go for slap and just regular playing. Whereas in Loki Bass, you just kind of had presets. You had finger picking, and then that's kind of like you had the distorted tone, and that was kind of it. So yeah, like I said, the original bass is not really, it doesn't really hold a candle now to what Loki Bass 2 is doing. So let's talk a bit more about Loki Bass 2 and the features. So we hear how it sounds in the mix. Sounds incredible, right? So let's talk about why Loki Bass is amazing. So like I said, you have the added finger style plus slap, okay? And then we have all these different ways that we can change how the bass will play. We can make it more realistic in terms of we can insert more human error. We can even indicate how much string noise or left-hand noise we would want, like if they're moving their strings along the fretboard. I mean, we can customize all of this. We can change the tuning. We can make it slightly out of tune, sharp or flat. We can change the decay and bend intensity and the slide speed of how fast something or something is playing. You have 4 different slap modes, very similar to Kraken. It works in the same way, but it's almost like the Mjolnir drums from Solemn Tones, where you had like the humanized feature, where you can set the humanized feature to a particular level, and then it'll just be humanized at that level. And there are different modes here where the bass will function like that. Just different slap modes. You can force slap, and just different ways that it will interpret the MIDI and articulate and play it. So it'll do a lot of the work for you. All right, so let's go back to the tone now. Here in the tone, again, we can adjust the output. We have 4 tone pots now. We can even add air to the super high end of the bass. All right, so in Force, actually, it's similar to how it works in all the previous versions in Kraken and stuff like that. Is basically there's going to be a sine wave that gets added into your bass tone to thicken it. And there are different sine waves here to basically make how aggressive or how soft, soft to aggressive of how the sine wave will be. And you could even change the dynamics of the bass by enforcing enforce volume, meaning how loud that sine wave is going to be. You can devour the attack, which means that you can cut off the pick attack. So you can actually kind of take away the really high mid dingle 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 of the dingwall bass and turn it more into just like a bass that just sits under everything and just does the low end, and you don't really hear the top end of it. So that's what the devour attack would do. And then artificial attack, obviously you add more attack to note hits and make it essentially more punchy, right? The other thing with this particular UI is that you have octave drop. Okay, now octave drop is really, really cool, if you are using Guitar Pro to write your bass lines, you already know the pain of bringing in your Guitar Pro files into a DAW, and then probably you did a Google search like, oh my God, my Guitar Pro MIDI isn't playing, what's wrong? And then you found out, well, Guitar Pro writes the MIDI an octave lower than a DAW would read. It's just nonsense. So if you have a Guitar Pro file where you've done bass in it, you can import that Guitar Pro file with the bass, and then you can click this octave drop, and then the program will essentially read an octave lower than what is on the screen, or what it's used to here. Another great feature here is that in the original Loki, sometimes the loading times were a bit rough. Now, let me show you something. This is going to be real time, all right? I'm going to load in a different preset. Let's just start with the clean DI. Done. I didn't cut the video there. It's done. That's how fast it loads. Grindmeister. Done. Loki Glass. Done. Okay? This is significantly faster load times than what the original Loki Bass were. And as far as I'm aware, it's using the cores differently somehow. I don't know the technical specifics. And I'm not going to bother Max for him to type me exactly what's happening. But I can see the difference here, and it's significant. But because now I can A/B between different presets much more quickly, so I can make decisions about what kind of bass song I might want to go with. Or I could just use the DI and use a different third-party plugin to do whatever tone that I would want to do. Now, the last thing that I would like to cover is actually how the programming works. Now, I didn't have to do anything here because I'm a very simple bass programmer. I sort of just do half of the speed of what the guitar is playing, and that's it. But what's really cool about the Loki Bass, in terms of other MIDI instruments, for example, if you want to use a key switch, right? So if we open Loki Bass here and we go to Info, we see all the key switches here. Now, it doesn't matter what key switch I'm going to use here. I'm just going to pick one. So, for example, if I wanted to use this key switch, in other libraries, that would basically mean like I did this. Oh, I made, come on now, goodness. I made this MIDI note, and therefore that key switch is now enabled, and that'll be enabled until the end of time, until I would make another MIDI note down here, which would change that. Now, this is really, I mean, on the face of it, makes sense, right? But it's really easy to get lost and just flat out forget what is being played and when and where. So what Loki Bass 2 is doing is actually it's using a latching method, which means that for however long you want that articulation to play, you're just going to drag that MIDI note out for as long as you want it to be like that. And then as long as that MIDI note is active, it's latched, that particular key switch will be active, and you'll hear that dynamic. And then you can go to the next one. Okay, and just like that. So and then when you can visually see like, oh, I have a key switch going on here, what's going on? And you won't be lost or forget what's going on with your bass. And I really like that aspect of Loki Bass 2. Yeah, so this is a fantastic bass. Now, I know some of you may already have a bunch of questions like, okay, what's the difference between Loki Bass 2 and Kraken? I'm already working on a video like that where I'm going to basically put the two of them together and give you some advice, for which type of sounds that you may want. If you're going for this type of sound or that type of sound, which one you would probably want to grab. But honestly, this thing is awesome. Like I said, if you already have Loki Bass 1, you get this for free. Okay, but if you don't, I have a coupon code. It's going to be up here on the video somewhere or in the title of the video, Chernobyl 15. So you can use that coupon code. You can go to their website, get an extra 15% off the price. Don't know how long that's going to last. Solemn Tones is usually pretty good about leaving that code up for a while. So, but don't wait on it. All right. But so Chernobyl 15. Go ahead, click the link in the description. This is not an affiliate link, by the way. I do not get any kickbacks for anything that you buy. All right, it's just a code that Max was kind enough to give me for you guys to use. All right, so go ahead and use that. Chernobyl 15, link down in the description below. So that'll do it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about Loki, like I said, I have a Loki versus Kraken video coming up within the next week probably or so, where I'll compare the two and we'll be able to see which one would be better for you. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching the video. Hit like, subscribe, tell me what you think of Loki Bass 2, and I will see you in the next video.